Ian is the talk of the underground right now with his brand new debut mixtape called Valedictorian. Go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe, and let's go ahead and jump into the review. Ian might embrace that he's from the suburbs on a few of these tracks, and that's completely fine. A lot of people think that it's more of a gimmick and everything, but I think that I'm actually enjoying the whole trajectory of everything happening going into this mixtape here, because there's actually some really insane songs, and on his performances on these tracks, like, he's really rapping like his rent is due, and he actually has good performances on Airbnb and on Never Stop. The style that he's been pushing and been working with, that's so like polarizing to where, you know, he doesn't really like match the cover. He doesn't really sound like what the cover, you know, looks like at all, which kind of throws people off a lot. And I think he gets those comparisons to Yeet with this style that he has, which I don't really personally see it, but he brings along the songs that already, you know, had the ball rolling for him with Grand Slam and Figure It Out. And then Ian kind of just floods the rest of the track list up with good one-liners and more captions type bars and everything, which I feel like I can kind of put Ian into the same lane as like a Babytron, for instance. I feel like just because they're both kind of throwing out these catchy phrases all the time that you can repeat. For instance, on Omakase, he says, "I bust my ass day and night, Kid Cudi," or he also had 3.5 in this wood look like Meg the Stallion leg. I just think those lines are funny and they work. But he also has plenty of lyrics of getting up and getting paper, and also trusting your gut on Never Stop. So he's got a lot of good lyrics in there. Yeah, there's a lot of, you know, swerve in the cars and naming brands and spending all this money and flexing kind of throughout the project, talking with a lot of confidence, and there's plenty of rap cap in here. You can pull that card, and I'm not disagreeing with that. And if that bothers you and you really just think it's too fake and it just doesn't, the music's not going to hit because of that reason, I fully like respect it and get it for those who, you know, aren't enjoying Ian right now. But I just don't really look into it that much, and that's just not what I'm going to Ian for. I do think, like, yes, he could rhyme a little bit more, have better like sequencing within his verses, because sometimes he's just grabbing from different areas and not all of it entirely makes sense, but a ton of rappers do that, and majority actually do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't dog him too much for not being that great. He's only been around for a few months, I feel like, and this is his first project. Like, I'm not expecting this to be like the top of the line lyricism, I guess. Now, in his future projects, we'll judge him differently. Will he be able to stick around? Will his sound get played out? Will he be able to switch it up at times? But right now for Valedictorian, I think he's doing exactly what he needed to do on this project. So let's go ahead and jump into the track list.
The driver goes straight to the staircase. How could I ever be late to the airplane? These Japanese.
Which, like I said, I'm glad that this project was short and it was just about 10 songs in total. Actually, just like a tad less, because you have the holiday intro on there and you have DJ Holiday who's like hosting the mixtape, which is a really cool feel to it, where they're adding like a ton of like scratches and everything as well. So it sounded like something from the 2010s. And then leading up to this project, you had key snippets that, you know, fans like me were waiting on, like Never Stop, Airbnb, which were two of the best songs on the whole project. So those turned out great. And then you have a lot of underrated songs on there, as like Omakase, I think is, you know, one of the more lyrical songs. I would say like the middle of the track list, or maybe going to the second half, I guess, is like the weakest part of the track list if I had to pick out of this 10 song run. But I've been listening back a ton and I actually enjoy pretty much every song on this track list. I think it was a good idea for him to throw on Grand Slam, Figure It Out, that were already out, displayed his sound and everything, put those on the end as two more of the stronger songs. So I actually kind of like the structure to this project. I would say Judgment was one of the weakest tracks on the project, just kind of like performance wise from him. I didn't really feel the energy too much on that one. The song that grew on me the most was definitely Hermes Sheets. I feel like that one had like the funkiest type of beat to it, was definitely the most different on the track list. But the length of this project and how it's looking and packaged with the cover art and everything, like, it's exactly what I wanted from Ian right now.
That is not your house, that's an Airbnb.
For the production, Ian chose to stick with his main producer, Soprano, who definitely has, you know, curated a certain sound and style that they were going for with this mixtape. Again, it sounds like something old and throwback, you know, type of trap beats that maybe even Wayne would have been rapping on. I saw some people bring up maybe like old Gucci Mane type stuff. So there's definitely like older influence in there, which is cool, because a lot of people in the underground are making a lot of the same stuff, a lot of the same beats, sound the same. But I love this dynamic of Ian and Soprano. This entire project is really cool. I saw people on Twitter say Yeet and, you know, Benny X coming up the same way. That's kind of how it went for them, and I kind of see the same thing happening if Ian continues to work with Soprano. Track 7 was the only one that was different with Chauncey. Tana actually produced that one. Fun fact. I think Valedictorian has a cool soundscape to it, and I do think it does sound different than most stuff in the underground right now. So I'm liking the direction that we're going. Now, if we did like 4 projects in a row of this, then I feel like it would eventually get played out. So overall, like I said, I enjoyed pretty much every song from Ian on this. You know, where he's at in his career, the way he's been going up. He's so hot right now. I think he had the perfect rollout to this project. You know, brought me in and made me want to listen to it. And I think it was a rewarding project project. There's plenty of bangers on here. There's plenty of stuff to go back to on this project. And I think Valedictorian is one of the best, you know, projects in the underground all year. So to pop up my ranking here on the tier list, I'm gonna go ahead and put this project in the great category. I think there's gonna be some better releases, some worse, but in the terms of the underground, I mean, Ian is like that guy right now. White boys like me, hyped across America. So Ian did go with Valedictorian. Thank you guys for watching all the way to the end of the video. Comment down below your guys' thoughts on the mixtape. I have a Twitter, Instagram, go check me out there. More videos soon. Peace.